There's a saying in business that you should always give difficult jobs to lazy people because they'll usually find a quick and easy way to do them. I don't know who said that, I can't be bothered to check, but it got me out of a small writing hole for this intro, so... Laziness, see, works every time, even in video games, where humanity's incessant desire for shortcuts and slipping through the clutches of good, honest challenge often manifests as people breaking the inbuilt rules of games for personal gain. Laziness, but determined laziness. Honestly, it must drive developers balmy. You think everything is watertight, but then along comes the internet to fiddle and tinker and ruin. Us gamers like an obsessive swarm of cheat-hungry locusts chewing through the code to find loopholes that let you one-shot bosses or farm infinite loot. We just can't help ourselves. So yes, hello, you've caught me writing a list of 7 ways to break the rules we simply cannot resist. Number 1, glitch climbing. For the uninitiated, this is when you try and reach a high area that's currently out of bounds. Maybe you're not supposed to go there until later in the story, or maybe you're not supposed to go there at all. But there's a curiosity and a rebelliousness baked into our DNA, isn't there, that comes alive the second we're told, don't go to this place. Like Simba in The Lion King when Scar tells him not to go near the elephant graveyard when I was confronted with the big mountain in Skyrim only to discover I couldn't make it to the top. Well, I walk on the wild side. I laugh in the face of mountains that tell me I can't get to the top. And here it is, actual footage of me sticking it to the man and gracefully glitch climbing up Skyrim's throat of the world. You can't stop me, greybeards, with your foolish plot barriers and strategically placed stone temple halfway up. I'm the Dragonborn. I go where I want. The danger of glitch climbing, of course, being that you fall down and die on a slice of map never intended for the fragile feet of low-level protagonists. Much like the answer British climber George Mallory gave when asked why he wanted to climb Mount Everest, the reason we feel this compulsion to glitch climb to reach these forbidden places is a simple one. Because they are there. We're going further with entry 2, much further. Beyond the boundary of the open world and into what exactly? Nobody knows what lies in the void of the uncoded, which is probably why its allure is so irresistible. We've all done this, reached the edge of the map in open world games like The Witcher 3 or Grand Theft Auto 5 and tried to push beyond. Often these edgelands are protected, digital guardians placed by developers that can take the form of a friendly on-screen message, for instance, delivered with the firm politeness of a cabin crew member when the seatbelt sign is on. Sir, you're about to leave the playable area, sir. Would you mind just turning around for me? Thank you. Or sometimes a big shark just comes along and eats you. Whatever the deterrent, their mere existence throws up the question, what are they protecting? And yes, I know it's literally just the edge of the game. There's nothing out there but virtual space. But my God, what I wouldn't give to find myself there. To literally jump Ratchet & Clank's Boundary Shark. To traverse Witcher 3's impassable mountains. In researching this entry, I fell down a Reddit rabbit hole about someone who tried to trick their way past GTA 5's boundary. It takes a lot of effort. Fly an aircraft too far and it will automatically experience engine failure and crash. Swim past a certain point and once again, you're shark food. But apparently, if you swim deep enough that the sharks can't get you and continue setting points of interest on the map, it is possible to explore well beyond GTA 5's outer limits. What does this achieve, you might ask? That's not the point, I would answer. It's a different kind of play, a unique type of challenge, an exercise of the imagination fired by innate human curiosity. You're reaching, not from any expectation of grasping something, but simply because the stretch itself feels good. And also it's just funny when the shark comes. A bit less noble, but equally irresistible for entry number 3 is the idea of cheesing a boss, which you've all done before, don't lie. You know, we all claim to love a challenge, don't we? But I think one thing us gamers love even more is a cheeky circumnavigation of said challenge. Work smarter, not harder. Like when I beat Dark Souls' Taurus demon in my pants by repeatedly climbing up and down this ladder and chucking firebombs in its big stupid face. Ha! Dark Souls, how do you like that? It's literally the only time I've been able to lord it over Dark Souls. Just let me have this moment. Another classic cheese is doing a bit of glitch climbing in Sekiro to fool the demon of hatred into launching itself into oblivion, because apparently he's really difficult otherwise. I don't know, I never even got that far in Sekiro. Or famously, hiding in the corner during the Tiny Tiger boss fight in Crash Bandicoot 3 Warped, so you're safe from the rampaging lions. So famous they even added an Easter egg whereby in-game spectators hurl actual cheese at you if you replicate the tactic in the Insane trilogy. Nice that the devs are in on the joke, despite almost certainly being very disappointed in us all. My favourite cheese in all of Boston, however, is in Final Fantasy VII, where you can one-shot Gina Tuck, an undead enemy, simply by chucking an X potion at him. You could argue this is less of a cheese and more of a really clever strategy, but I wanted to put it in the video, so there. The fourth way we simply can't resist breaking the rules often happens in RPGs, when you discover a loophole that lets you farm loads of money or EXP for little to no effort. A key thing to remember if you stumble upon an effortless way to farm EXP or money is to keep quiet about it. Which I know goes against every instinct we as gamers possess, you know, we love a brag. But as soon as a method for easily farming EXP becomes known, typically the devs will swoop in and patch things up. So, you know, shh. My favourite example of this, and of devs getting creative with their punishment, was in The Witcher 3, where you could kill a bunch of cows in White Orchard, sell their hides for a decent wad of cash, only for the cows to respawn, so you could do it all again. Ha 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 ha! Money, 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 we all said, selling cow hides to all the miraculously loaded peasants in the surrounding area. Well, ho 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 ho, CD Projekt Red said, how about a level 27 nightmare monster coming in to nobble Geralt as soon as you've offed a certain number of cows? Enter the Chort of White Orchard, aka the Bovine Defence Force Initiative, a big clobbering Goliath out for cow vengeance. That is some serious beef. I love this. I love that you technically can still run a back alley racket in dodgy cow hides, so long as you're prepared to deal with this guy. A perfect marriage of gamers doing what they do, the devs recognising and celebrating that, and ultimately the heartwarming story being immortalised in a YouTube list feature entry nearly 10 years later. Which, surely, is all any of us can really hope for in the end. Save scumming is our fifth entry, an irresistible rule-breaking tactic used commonly in narrative games where your choices affect the outcome of the story. The idea is you keep a library of saves throughout the game so that if at any point something happens you don't like, you can simply reload and try again. There's a collision here, isn't there, between the game's invitation to submit to the thrill ride of an unpredictable narrative and to just roll with the punches. A collision between that and the gaminess of games. You know, something like Until Dawn is arguably best experienced when you just make decisions instinctively and allow the story to play out organically. But at the same time, you want the platinum trophy, don't you? And invariably, that means save scumming, reloading, making different decisions, and witnessing all 647 ways the characters can be horrifically killed. Just for trophies? The most hardcore save scum I've ever done was during my hunt for the Bloodborne Platinum. The game is structured in a way that unless you're willing to commit to 3 full playthroughs, you have to make a save just before the final fight with Gehrman, stick that save on an external USB device, and then replay the fight 3 times, doing something slightly different each time to unlock all the endings. Once where you just chicken out and don't even fight Gehrman, once where you do fight him, and once when you fight him after eating 3 umbilical cords and then fighting the moon presence. Save scumming is less breaking the rules and more breaking the immersion, I suppose, but I can't resist doing it. You can't resist doing it. And judging by this appalling tapestry of disordered Final Fantasy VII nonsense, Dave can't resist doing it either. Entry 6 is inspired by Dave as well, and is a cowardly trick for breaking the rules in horror games. And that is turning the brightness up to maximum brightness in an often futile attempt to reveal what the scary game may otherwise be hiding.
What are you playing, Dave?
Silent Hill 2.
I get it, there's a power imbalance between us and horror games, isn't there? They have us at a disadvantage, a series of tricks and jump scares all ready to activate the moment we stumble across some invisible digital tripwire. You know, we just want to see the tripwire if we can. It's perhaps a damning indictment of the lengths gamers will go to win, to get one up. Yes, I will ruin the carefully crafted atmosphere of this horror masterpiece if it means I'm slightly less terrified by all the scary bits, thank you very much. And maybe I'll pipe heavy metal music into my ears while I'm at it. This unique method of playing horror games where you can see everything and hear nothing, commonly known as the Dave. The final way to break the rules I personally find completely irresistible isn't something I do because it benefits me in any way other than I just find it really fun, and that is trying to find ways to kill vital quest-giving NPCs. You know, I just want to watch the world burn. Skyrim is my favourite game in which to try this, a game where vital quest-giving NPCs are immortal, probably because Bethesda saw jerks like me coming a mile off and had to take action to protect the sanctity of their world. That doesn't stop me trying, though. I will burn, stab, freeze, impale, dragon shout off a cliff, anything to achieve my ultimate gaming ambition of being the only person left alive in the game. It's just funny, isn't it? Both the act of ruining your own game by killing an NPC vital for moving the story forward, and also seeing the lengths clever developers will go to in order to stop you doing just that. Most famously, in Metal Gear Solid 3, you can kill Ocelot after your first encounter with him, prompting a unique game over screen where Campbell calls you from the future, berating you for causing a time paradox. I think what I appreciate even more than this, however, is when games just let you do it, and then you have to live with the consequences. Your save is now unplayable, you've ruined everything, you've killed a character who needs to be alive for you to finish the story. Was it worth it? Yes. And there you have it. 7 ways to break the rules we simply can't resist. Are you guilty of any of these? Can you think of any we've missed? Let us know in the comments, give the video a like if you've enjoyed it, subscribe and click the notification bell if you haven't already done so, and join us once again at the same time next week for another Friday feature. Thanks for watching.
PlayStation